Hello everybody. I hope you can hear me because I know you can't see me. We are here at Marengo-Union Library. This is Miss Penny speaking, and this STEAM video is about facing your fears and what fear does to your body. So that is why you cannot see, because I was just going to ask you if one of your fears, if any of you have the fears of darkness. Yes, some people do. Does anybody know any other things that can cause fear? So, different things that can cause fear. Well, the dark, we just talked about that. What about tasting stuff? Or do you have the fear of tasting something? Or touching? Do you have the fear of touching something, maybe without knowing what it is? Or even if you do know? Do you have the fear of trust? And by that I mean, would you be able to follow someone's lead? If you were blindfolded, could you listen to what somebody said and just follow what they said to do? So if you were walking in a building and just were blindfolded and then they told you which way to walk, could you do it? Could you trust them? Do you have a fear of time limits? I know sometimes I do. I'm afraid the time's gonna run out, and so I start to get really anxious or worried. Do you have the fear of being able to see or not see? Do you have the fear of the unknown? Or do you have the fear of noises? Hello everybody. Okay, so we have two things going on. We had this guy because I love him, he's so cute. And then this one that I'm going to turn off because every time I walk in front of it, it does this. It's action or motion censored. Okay, that is now off. So, fears. So that you guys were just in darkness, just listening to me just now. How did that feel? Did anybody have fear for that? Probably not, because you weren't really in darkness, but the video was in darkness. So let's see. What happens when fear starts to kick into your brain? Do you know? Because fear can, it can affect your entire body. And if you really pay attention, you can feel how your whole body just feels that fear in different ways. And I'm actually going to show you right now and tell you like a little bit, kind of like a little story about your brain. So it's kind of like, pretend your brain is a house, okay? We're gonna do this, the brain house. So we are going to draw, I'm not gonna draw a house, I'm gonna draw a head, just like that, all right? And I'm gonna make some stairs, okay? Because inside your head is your brain, and you have upstairs and you have downstairs. So the upstairs up here is called the Pre-Frontal Cortex. Go ahead, repeat me. All right, the downstairs is the limbic system. So the upstairs up here, I'm gonna change colors because I can. All right, so the upstairs has workers and the downstairs has workers, okay? So the upstairs workers are the thinkers. These guys think and then they do the problem solving, and they are the planners. So these guys are the ones doing all that kind of stuff. They're thinking and they're solving the problems, and then they're planning all the things that you're gonna be doing. These people are the ones that you're gonna find, well, relaxing, I guess is what you might say. So these guys are gonna be, we're gonna have Calming Carl. Hello, Calming Carl. We're gonna have Problem Solving Pete. Hello, problem solving Pete. And creative Craig. These are my little people, okay? These guys are all upstairs. They're all working together. These are your remember what they are? Good job, you guys were listening. And we also have flexible Felix. He's flexible, so he gets to kind of bend a little bit, right? Okay, and they can all have happy faces, that's fine. Or sad faces, I mean, whatever you want to put, okay? So those are our upstairs workers. They're all up there doing what they're doing. Now our downstairs workers in the limbic system, these guys are the feelers, okay? Their job's to keep us safe and make sure that our needs are being met. These people down here, they're keeping an eye out for danger. They're gonna be sounding the alarm and they're gonna make sure that we are either gonna run or we're gonna stay and fight. Fight or flight. You're gonna hear that a little bit later too. So they're gonna be the ones that are gonna alert us for danger, okay? Downstairs, you are going to find, here we go, alerting alley. So there's alerting alley, frightened Fred, learning Larry, and Big Boss Bootsy. Big Boss Bootsy. Now, do you think Big Boss Bootsy is bossy? Probably. So, these upstairs workers and the downstairs workers are gonna work as a team. This is how our brain should work, okay? So here's our brain. We have an upstairs and a downstairs. You've got these people up here doing their stuff, these people down here doing their stuff, but they have to get messages to each other. And the way that they do that is the stairs. So somebody's gonna be running messages up the stairs to those people, and then these guys are gonna be running messages down to these people. And they just kind of do this all the time. They just run messages back and forth, and that is how they keep your brain working, and everybody knows what's going on, and hopefully everybody's getting along and your brain's going well, everybody's working. You have an awesome brain right now, right? Until your brain flips its lid. Now, if your brain flips its lid, then yikes. So that means that our brain was not, all our people here did not work together. There was a problem with the system, okay? So, the problem is they just didn't, all right, we're gonna make a new, there we go. Now, what happened is sometimes in the downstairs part of the brain, so sometimes down here, okay, and I'm probably not gonna make people now, but let me just say, okay? So sometimes in the downstairs brain, alerting Allie spots danger, okay? So she just spotted danger. Then frightened Fred panics. Oh man, frightened Fred's panicking. And before we know it, Big Boss Bootsy has sounded the alarm. So now the alarm's going off. Now why? Because they didn't communicate. So because Big Boss Bootsy sounded this alarm, now that alarm is now telling your body down here, there's danger, danger, danger. So Big Boss Bootsy, well, is a bossy fellow, and he orders the downstairs brain to take over. So all these guys up here have nothing to do because Big Boss Bootsy just told them they're taking over, and the downstairs brain flips its lid. So basically cut off the stairs. So that means this brain, this is opening up. Now their lid is open because Big Boss Bootsy didn't want to share. So now they flipped its lid, and the thinkers, the problem solvers, and the planners can't use the stairs anymore to send their thoughtful and calming messages. And this means you're learning Larry is too upset to think. So when this happens, our brain is now out of control. And that is just a little bit of a lesson on how your brain works during stress. This is one of the reasons why we like to tell you guys, in case you don't hear this a lot, stop and think. Because all the people on the bottom are trying to talk to the people on the top, and the top are trying to talk to the bottom. And if you don't stop and let them do their jobs, then the lid gets flipped because they're not communicating. And then your brain doesn't, then you just don't know what to do. You're like, oh, what do I do now? You don't know what to do because the stairs are cut off. There's no way to get up there, okay? So this is when, if you're in the fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. So you have just come into danger, okay? And your lid is flipped. You don't know what to do. You're gonna calm down, and I'm gonna send home some strategies for you. And hopefully your brain is gonna be able to catch up and help you decide what you're going to be doing. So here's just a little picture of fight, flight, or freeze, okay? Basically, when you are scared or when you have a fear, this is what happens. You're gonna have to decide. So you should start with the freezing. You should. That's what would happen first. You're gonna freeze because your brain has to take a minute your brain is taking a minute to take in what is going on. What are you afraid of? Like, are you afraid of this rat? Whew. Well, my brain had to take a minute to think about it. I don't need to run. I'm just staying here. He's not so scary, so I'm okay. We're all good, okay? Your brain needs time to think about that. So they freeze. Then it's gonna decide, do I need to fight or do I need to run? And one of the ways they decide that is it thinks, has this happened before? If it has, what did we do? And it kind of can go by off of that a little bit. So that was just a little bit of that. Now you learned a little bit about your brain. Are you excited? Yes, we love learning. Go ahead, guys, say it. You know you love learning. Like I said, here's a couple papers I'm sending home just so you guys can kind of learn some techniques on how you could possibly calm yourself down even a little bit. All right. Now, if you do have a lot of fears, which, I mean, everybody in the world has fears. People can say they don't have fears, but they do. Even the bravest people have fears. And if they tell you that they don't, they are absolutely lying. Because everybody has a fear of some kind. So now your brain's deciding what to do. Your body went into fight, flight, or freeze, okay. Now, basically your body's in combat mode. Okay, it's trying to remember, like I said, if this situation is similar to an experience from your past, so it can come up with a solution on how it's going to handle the problem now. So imagine this. Everybody close your eyes. Imagine this, okay? You're a caveman or woman, whatever you want, all right, whichever one you are, and you're living 100,000 years ago, okay? Ooh, we're a caveman. We've got our big club, right? Because that's what they walked around with, those big clubs, okay? We're walking, and I open my eyes and whoop! Oh my gosh, right in front of me is a tiger. It's a saber-toothed tiger, and not just anyone, a hungry one. So my brain right now just is shutting down because what do? I'm starting to shake, my body's starting to shake, and my hands are getting sweaty, and I'm breathing really fast. I don't know, what am I gonna do? This tiger is like 10 feet in front of me, guys. I don't know how I missed it, but it's right there. What do I do? Well, you have 2 choices, 3 choices, okay? 1, run. That's it. That's the flight, guys. Run. All right. 2, pick up that club and fight. All right. So flight, fight. Now, the third option, probably not the best get eaten by the tiger. Probably don't want to do that. Probably not the best decision. Okay. I'm pretty sure in that situation, I'm going to run, but it's going to take me a minute because I have to take in this surrounding. Like, I'm surprised at first. I don't just automatically do it. Your body takes the time to feel out the situation. Okay. That is, well, fight, flight, or freeze. And I've chosen flight. What would you choose? I'm just curious. Okay. Do any of you have a long time fear? Because sometimes it's not just a fear that just like, oh my gosh, the tiger's in front of me. Sometimes it's something that you're just afraid of in general. Yeah. Okay. I have that too. So I'm going to send home this activity with some stairs. And it's just kind of something to help you face your fears. And it is, it's kind of taking steps to face your fears. It's almost like a therapy. It is kind of therapy, actually. It's exposure therapy. So one way that you can kind of face your fears, and I put the directions in there for you, have somebody help you because having a support system is important, okay? So pick a fear, not one that you're super, super afraid of because that's going to be overwhelming, okay? Pick a fear that you're a little bit afraid of that maybe you'd like to overcome, okay? An example I'm going to use bees, okay? I'm going to have to pick some steps on how I could maybe help face my fears of bees and be able to overcome them, okay? So the thing with bees is I tend to either go places where I can be inside or I want to make sure that there's not going to be a lot of bees around or else I kind of don't really want to go. So that's kind of a little bit of a problem when you're afraid of bees because, you know, the outside is beautiful. It's a beautiful world out there, especially now. The weather's amazing, right? But the bees, I don't like bees. I don't like them. But I don't want them to leave because they're important in our world. I just want to learn how to co-live with them, and I want them to just leave me alone. That would be great. But I mean, in reality, that's not going to happen. The outdoors is their home. So I want to try and find a way to get over that. So I'm going to use this step system, okay? I'm going to pretend these are the steps, all right? I'm going to try and make myself 4 easier steps that maybe I could do just to kind of get started, okay? This isn't something you do in one day, all right? This could take weeks. So you're going to just kind of start slow. So the first thing I might do is I'll watch the bees from inside my house, okay? So this is me inside my house, just kind of watching the bees, all right? I'm gonna be writing it down, but I didn't wanna do that on here because, well, it's gonna take too long and you can't see it anyway. So I'm in the house watching the bees. That's my first step. I've done that the first day. A few days later, you know what? I'm gonna try sitting outside, but I'm gonna sit somewhere where I know that bees probably are not gonna be, all right? So, and if there are, you know, there's places outside where most likely bees are not going to be, like maybe a parking lot. I don't know, maybe even inside my car. That would defeat the purpose, but I'm just saying, okay. So now I'm sitting outside. I am sitting outside. This is not a very good chair, okay. I'm not an artist. I have said this before, okay. I'm just going to put a tree way over here, okay. The tree is far away with the flowers, with the bees like the flowers, okay? Yep, bad drawing. It's okay, everybody. I'm just trying to explain. Okay, so this was a couple days later. I'm just going to sit outside and far away that I know where the bees are, okay? All right, great. A few days later, I'm going to sit a little bit closer to the bees, still watching them very closely because we don't want to interact, right? So I'm going to... You know what? I am going to sit by a tree, but I'm gonna make sure the tree doesn't have flowers on it, okay? I'm just gonna make sure, okay? So I'm gonna sit by a tree. That's fine. I don't mind that. Let's just say there's like a little bench here, because let's just say that's a bench, okay? And I'm gonna sit on the bench, and I am going to keep observing those bees, which hopefully are not near because there are no flowers by this tree that I chose to sit by, okay? I'm getting a little closer. Finally, I'm getting there. So maybe, you know, in a couple weeks, you know what? I I'm going to take a walk. I'm just going to take a walk. It's if I run into flowers or something along my walk, I might even go in a forest preserve and take a walk. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. That might be a little overdoing it, but I'm going to give it a try, okay? So I just went to a forest preserve to go for a walk. I'm not messing with the bees. I'm just walking, okay? That's it. Now, this is just a general thing, okay? And this is just me. You guys have other fears. There's other ways to deal with them, okay? And a big person should help you with this because this is going to be tricky. From day one to whatever week this is, I was able to go from staying in my house to taking a walk in a forest. So exposure therapy works. You just have to take it slow. It's a good choice for trying to get through some fears, guys. So try and make a plan. Pick a fear that you're not super, super scared of because you don't want to start heavy, okay? You don't want to start heavy. I'm telling you now. Big choice, okay? Take your steps slowly. You can do this. When you, in your kit, you're going to see there are so many things that your body does when it gets scared. I mean, it's not just in your brain. It is in your entire body. It is in the way that your hands shake and your breathing gets heavy and your heart beats super fast and your legs shake or your feet feel like they want to run and just everything. So you're going to see there's so many different ways. I am sending something home in your kit. You're not going to know what it is. Surprise! So if you're really afraid of stuff, be afraid, be very afraid. I'm just kidding, but you're not going to know what it is. So you might be afraid. Could be anything. You don't know. Could be something that's going to jump out at you. Could be something that's going to be stinky. It could be something you're going to like. It could be something you're not going to like. You have no idea, but it's going to be in there. So you guys are going to have fun with that. And yeah, so this was something else. Oh, I was going to set this, I forgot to do this, but I was going to set this timer because this is one of my fears too. When you have to race time, right? Like this video that's going very long. If I would have set the timer and I would have said, okay, I need to be done by the time this timer's done, I would have been like, because I would have been like all crazy and my stress would have been up on my anxiety. But I didn't do that. So there's going to be no ding. Well, there could have, because I'll probably ding it, but that is it. And I just want everybody to know that there is a wasp flying around in here with me, and I'm okay with it because, well, I can't see it at the moment, but it's back there. I saw it a while ago, but I figured it's doing its thing over there by the window. I'm doing my thing over here. We're living together, and that's possible, right? All right, so fears, guys, facing your fears, what happens to your body when you get scared, ways that you can help yourself calm down, help that top part of your brain and that bottom part of your brain work together all the time. Doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen for anybody, but there are ways that you can maybe help with that, right? So you never know. You just never know what could happen. You never know when fear is going to strike. You never know. Well, you really never know a lot of things, but that's okay because it's just okay. I've got nothing on that. I'm sorry. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys. I just wanted to really show you those cool things. I wanted to show you, the brain house because I thought that was a really awesome way to show how your brain works. And then I wanted to show you a way that you could help maybe overcome a couple of your fears. And in your kit, there is even a couple more learning things that I didn't get to in this video because it would be like an hour-long video, and that's a little too long because this one's already too long. And that's it. And what on earth is on my pants? Do you see that? Ah! Oh, it was a bug. Did you see? Okay. Yeah, that was a bad one. I tried though. So the thing is, these are creepy crawlers. Bee crawlers, those creep me out. But did you see I like froze? I had to freeze and think about, what was it? What am I gonna do? Run. When there's bugs and bees, that is my response, flight. Okay, everybody. I can't wait to, well, you know, if you're gonna tell me about it or show me pictures of you figuring out what surprise is in your kit, that's awesome. But I'd love to see you guys facing a fear or two. I think that would be great too. And just have fun along the way, and listen to your body and try to make that top part of your brain and that bottom part of your brain work together. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.